Today, we watch and listen to AGC Accelerated Global Connections founder and CEO, Travis Sims. Oh, wait, that's me. That's right. In today's podcast, I will be solo and I'll be addressing all of your business concerns around the coronavirus and COVID-19 and social distancing and how it might affect business, how it might affect networking, how it might affect connecting in general. We're going to teach you some tips and quick things that are going to help you to adjust, adapt, and take action to not only survive the outbreak, but to thrive during this time.
My name's Travis Sims, and I am the founder and CEO of AGC Accelerated Global Connections. And this is the AGC Experience.
Our lives are a series of choices. Each choice leads to a result. Would you like to easily know which choices are the right life choices for you? If you've never met Amy Tyson, owner of Infinity Life Design, make it a priority to connect with her. Amy is a master of Feng Shui and Bat-Zi, which she calls destiny analysis. She assists her clients in understanding the hidden forces that are influencing their lives. A destiny reading with Amy is like reading a book all about you. She highlights which decisions will bring you to your fullest potential and which choices will lead you down a path of obstacles. If you're struggling with a challenge or you want to lift your life even higher, get connected with Amy and Infinity Life Design on facebook.com/infinitylifedesign or subscribe to her online newsletter at infinitylifedesign.com and connect with your infinite life.
Hello, everyone. Super glad to have you here on the AGC Experience podcast show. Typically, I'm here with a guest, another small business owner, salesperson, entrepreneur, a CEO or an executive inside AGC. They're AGC members sharing their stories, telling us their passion, sharing what their why is, and learning a little bit more about the person behind the business. Today, it's just me. You get me. And that is because just recently, depending on when you listen to this podcast, many of us were ordered to stay at home or asked to stay at home with the new coronavirus, COVID-19, to help stop the spread of this virus. Now, as you can imagine, I'm in the networking business. I run events all over the Twin Cities and have expansion plans for 5 states this year. And you're probably wondering what went through my mind. You're probably wondering, how was I going to manage to work or to be able to do what I do? Because I'm in the networking business. Oh, let me tell you. Well, first of all, I'm not just in the networking business. I'm in the business of supporting other business owners, salespeople, entrepreneurs, CEOs, and executives who are all underlined as people. I'm in the people business. And it's not just about face-to-face events. Although that's been our platform, although I don't know that there will ever be anything that completely erases face-to-face interaction. However, we're in the people business. There are many ways for us to connect. We're connecting right here today on the AGC Experience podcast. So we decided to follow the 3 A's of business. And those 3 A's are to adjust, to adapt, and to take action. And so I'm going to share with you along the way in today's podcast how AGC decided to adjust, adapt, and take action. And I think this is something that you can apply to your own business because we're probably all looking at what can we do to adjust, adapt, and take action. So first of all, let's talk about adjusting, okay? Adjust to me means that I'm recognizing something in the marketplace. There's a curve, there's a change in the marketplace that's going to affect me as a business owner or as a salesperson. It's something that is going to affect my customers, my clients, my vendors, or something like that. I'm recognizing that we need to adjust, okay? And I'm examining what are the things that we need to adjust to serve the current climate of business, to serve the current climate in which my customers are going to be buying from me or serving me or helping me grow business, and how I'm able to serve those customers and so on. So it's always about predicting and looking, and some things just can't be predicted. I mean, no one, uh, this is unlike anything we've ever seen before. I don't think anyone predicted this. And so just recognizing that you need to adjust and understanding adjustment is necessary to stay in business. The next thing I want to tell you about is adapting. And so now that you've looked at, I need to adjust to either stay in business or to stay current or to be in the current business climate. Adapting, adapt is the next step in the 3 A's of business. And so adapt is, what are you going to do to adapt for that current climate of business? And so I'll give you an example. So inside AGC, we chose to adapt by taking all of our events online, live broadcasts, online. All of our AGC events are going to online. We could have said, all right, we're not going to meet, we're not going to have events. We could have closed, and instead we decided that we needed to adapt. And the current climate of business called for that it needs to be online. So if you're listening to this in your own, or you're watching this in from your own perspective as a business owner, or a salesperson, as an entrepreneur, you might be looking at how can you take your current product, your current service, your current business offerings, and put it online. How can you open up an online store? How can you hold online events? How can you adapt in a way to serve your customers in an online environment? Adapting also creates an opportunity of a plan. Okay. So we looked at a lot of different things on how we were going to adjust and how we were going to adapt AGC, which had been previously all in person, to online. And so the first thing that we did was we decided that we're going to put our AGC talks weekly live broadcasting. And that's something we'd previously never done. It's something I'd considered, something I'd thought about, something I'd shelved and said I'll get to later, and later is now. And so we decided to stream our AGC talks live every single week. And this is a way to adapt to an online customer. And you might be wondering, okay, when you're planning something like this, how do you decide how you're going to do that? Because we looked at a lot of different platforms, and that platform that we chose was Facebook. And we chose Facebook because, first of all, you're already there. I mean, majority of the world is already on Facebook, so it already had a built-in audience. Secondly, it was big enough to hold us, because AGC events are not meetings, they're event-based. And so because they're event-based, Zoom wasn't the right platform for us. Zoom is great for meetings. I mean, if you're going to meet with 12 or 20 people or what have you, it's great for that. But for broadcasting and being able to open it up to questions and make it interactive, we needed to broadcast to Facebook. And so we chose to open an AGC public Facebook group that's available to you now. All you got to do is go to Facebook and search Accelerated Global Connections Public Group. If you do that, you're going to find us. Okay. So really, after thinking about the plan, adapting to the current climate, it was that third A that made all the difference. Take action. No matter what you're doing, you have to consider and how you're going to do it, and then start a step to take action on how you're going to address this change, this adaptation, this adjustment in your business. And you can sit on your hands and wait. You could, but how long can you wait? Are your customers waiting on you? Are your competitors already taking action? Have they already adjusted and adapted, and are they already in the taking action? We worked overtime inside of AGC. I mean, for 5 solid days, we worked overtime to make sure that we could take care of our current customers. That was my first important thing that I wanted to do, was how can I take care of our current customers, our current AGC members. Our members depend on us. And when I think about small business owners and salespeople and entrepreneurs and CEOs and executives of small to medium level size companies, I know the bigger picture. Not only are you serving a community of people, but you're also that's how you put food on the table. That's how you pay your mortgage. That's how you take your vacations. That's how you put the thing in the garage you've always wanted. And so for me, it's always been like right here in the center of my heart to serve the small business community and the medium business community, because I know how much of a difference it makes, not only to your family, but all of your employees and all the customers and clients that you serve. And so for me, it's always been about you. And so we decided immediately to take action, work overtime to make sure that we could take care of our current customers, to keep you inspired, to keep you networking. You see, more now than ever, it is a time to build your network. I've said this forever, and that is that you need to build your network before you need it. Well, now everyone in the world needs a network, and they're right now realizing it. The beautiful thing about AGC is that we got a whole 1 year head start on building a network. Matter of fact, we built a network at 4 times the industry standard, 4 times. And we amassed a network of 400 plus people in the Twin Cities alone. And now, because of the action that we're taking to move us online, we're broadening the audience considerably. I mean, because of that AGC public Facebook group, in only 3 days, 3 days, and those were business days. We took the weekend completely off. Only 3 days, we amassed 600 plus people from all over the world who want to be inspired together, want to be motivated together, and want to network together. And so those are the type of actions that we're taking to better serve our customers and to grow a bigger and broader audience, not only for AGC, but for our AGC members, for our AGC guests, for our AGC sponsors, and so on. It all is intertwined. It all works together. It's about serving this business community. It's about helping you build a bigger network. Remember, we need our network today more than ever before. Keep building your network. On the other side of this, we are all going to be looking at, okay, we have no marketing budget, we have no advertising budget. We're concerned about how we're going to pay the rent on our store facility, how we're going to reach new customers. And it is about the network. It's about the people that you're connected to that want to support each other, that want to build a team, that want to help one another, that want a community that's going to make all of the difference. So please, if you haven't yet, please go to Facebook, search for Accelerated Global Connection public Facebook page. Now, if you are an AGC member, then I have something even more exciting for you. And yes, we are still taking new AGC members. So we just got a new member yesterday, and that said, you know what? I understand now more than ever, I need to build my network, and here's where I want to build it. And so we got a brand new member just yesterday. People are still doing business. People are still engaging in business, and people understand the network is most important. And so we also have an AGC member exclusive Facebook group, and it's available now only to AGC members. And inside this exclusive group, it's different than the public group. The public group is going to be a great place to connect. It's going to be a great place to be motivated and inspired. But inside the exclusive group, our members are able to do some things that are really a huge benefit. And that is you're able to advertise your business. That is that you're able to um, share, post, and connect with other AGC members. There's some credibility about that. There's some trust level about being, hey, we're in the same organization together. I've said this forever, and that is members buy business from members. No matter what organization you're a part of, what network you choose, and we think you should choose more than one, but members buy from members. And so you want to say yes to your networks, whatever that is. Don't sit on the outside and say, I'm just going to come to the free thing. I'm just going to participate in the free thing, because members want to buy from other members. This is the first thing they're going to ask you when considering doing business with you. Are you a member of XYZ organization? Are you a member of AGC? If yes, now I'm considering more strongly that I might do business with you. So inside the exclusive Facebook group, you'll be able to ask for a referral. You'll be able to share a testimonial. You'll be able to share a link and create an audience by sharing an audience and following one another. There's so many great things. Every day we have a new networking topic for you to stay networking. So check out, if you are an AGC member, go to the exclusive Facebook group, search Accelerated Global Connections exclusive Facebook group. And it's for members only. And so if you are on the outside right now and you're listening or you're watching this podcast, I could ask you to consider AGC membership. Start building your network now. We'll immediately put you in that Facebook group and you'll be able to get started networking with other AGC members. And we have AGC members not only in Minnesota, we have AGC members in Indiana, we have AGC members in West Virginia, we have AGC members in Iowa, we have AGC members in California. We have AGC members in Florida. We're already members of our organization are recognizing that they want to connect with our members online, because not only on our Facebook groups, but on our website, our members have had this all along, where they can create their own profile with a picture and describe their business, who they are, what they do, what would be a great referral for them, who they want to be in front of, what their audience is, and so on. They can connect to all their social media and their website. And AGC members can connect to each other, much like LinkedIn, and do direct messaging back and forth. And so this is a huge value, a huge community of people to connect to and to network with and to set up Zoom meetings with and so on. Business does not have to come to a screeching halt. Figure out how you're going to adjust, how you're going to adapt, and how you're going to take action inside your business to not only survive the coronavirus outbreak and the recession that it may put us in, but to thrive during this, to grow from it, to adapt from it, to adjust from it. You see, I think that although I wouldn't wish this on anyone, I certainly wouldn't. And obviously, health and safety and wellness is everyone's top priority and first thing in mind. I mean, the first thing I'm doing is reaching out to members and saying, how are you and how can I help you? I'm reaching out to my family and my friends and saying, how are you? Are you healthy? How can I help you? People remember that always. And so it's certainly about the health and safety. But small business is the backbone of America. It is the backbone of our country. It makes up 40% of the work and the jobs that are available across the country is small business. So small business will survive. And I think back to the recession. You know, I was in business during the recession. And during the recession, it was a time when there were more bankruptcies than ever before. It was a time when there were more business closings than ever before. On the outside of the recession, coming out of it, there were more business openings. There were more business startups than ever before. People got creative. And it's because, no one was hiring. People were laid off, people had lost their jobs, and they had to be creative on how they were going to survive, how they were going to feed their families, and how they're going to pay their mortgage. And so people got creative. They started new businesses that had never been in business before. And that led to what has been one of our strongest economies in years. And it's because small business will survive, small business will go on. And so I encourage you now, even if you're looking at what am I going to do? How's this going to affect my business? Well, like we all are, build your network. It's either going to help you survive in the current thing, it's going to help you revive coming out of this current thing, or it's going to help you start and build the new thing that you're going to do coming out of this thing. But it's always about building your network, always. And so I encourage you to stay motivated. I encourage you to stay inspired. I want to ask you to, when you watch or you listen to this podcast, to take notes. And I want to ask you to take a pen and paper out and make notes during these podcasts. I want to ask you to subscribe to our podcast. Every single week, we have a new podcast that comes out on Monday. And we have listeners and watchers from all over the world who are tuning in to the AGC Experience podcast. And this is a place to be inspired. It's a place to be motivated. It's a place to learn more. We'll go back to our normal format next week, which means that you will still get to learn from small business owners, salespeople, entrepreneurs. Now, we're going to have to adjust a little bit. We have to adapt a little bit, which means that our guest would be in the studio with me. However, we'll do a split screen and we will still do the AGC Experience podcast. And so we are adjusting, we're adapting, we're taking action, which, by the way, this is something that really needed to happen anyway. It's caused me to accelerate what we're doing with the podcast, accelerate what we're doing with AGC and our online offerings, and what's coming for the website. And we have our web developers working overtime to give you more features online so that we can accelerate those features for you while you're officing at home. And so in the end, after we get past all of this, AGC will be stronger, healthier, better than it ever was before. And I think that the businesses that survive, the businesses that manage to stay in business, manage to stay connected because of their network, are going to even be stronger than ever before. You'll not only have an online presence, but you'll have an in-person presence when we go back. And between the two of them, your business will accelerate growth. And so the AGC Experience podcast will look a little bit different next week. However, the quality will be the same. You will still get to learn and be inspired and motivated by small business owners, salespeople, and entrepreneurs. And we're going to find out, what are they doing to adjust? What are they doing to adapt? What are they doing to take action in their business during this time of officing at home, during this time of social distancing? And I'm not necessarily a fan of that word. I wish they had said physical distancing. I think language is so important. And social distancing suggests that we should just stay at home and be in front of our televisions, and it's all one way. Physical distancing says, hey, let's stay apart physically, but let's still stay together socially. And we live in an environment where we can do that. Thank goodness. I mean, think about what would have taken place 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Talk about social distancing. We wouldn't have the platforms that we have today to stay connected to people. So I encourage you, set some meetings, do it by Zoom, pick up the phone, call your customers, have interactions with your clients, reach out to your vendors, stay connected, can hold and keep your network dear and near to your heart, to your business, and continue to grow your network. Adjust, adapt, and take action. And if you're wondering, how can you help AGC? How can you help Accelerated Global Connections during this time? And I'm going to ask that you consider being a sponsor for our AGC Live broadcast. I'm going to ask you to consider being a sponsor for the AGC Experience podcast. And more now than ever, our audience is growing, especially online. This creates huge opportunity for our sponsors. And our sponsors before were limited to only the people who registered for our events. So let's say that you sponsored the Minneapolis event, and that's our biggest face-to-face event of the month, right? And that would typically draw about 100 people. So you would get those 100 people, and you would get their registration, and they get the thank you for registering email with your sponsor information. Then you would get the reminder email with your sponsor information, same 100 people. Then you would get in front of them again at the event with your logo and your message, same 100 people. Then you would get the thank you email afterwards with your sponsor information, same 100 people. We aired our very first AGC Live broadcast last Wednesday. We had 300 watchers from all over the country and all over the world. And that was just during the live broadcast and a few days of watching it in replay. We have 600 people now in that group. We have 100 plus people in our exclusive group and 300 members that haven't yet went into that group. So our audience already, between our 400 members, between the 600 people who have jumped into our online public Facebook group, we're already at 1,000 people who could see your message. And they're all business owners. They're all salespeople. They're all entrepreneurs. They're people that are interested in what you have to offer, what content you have available. And we'd love to get you in front of them. So if you're interested in sponsoring the AGC Live broadcast, if you're interested in sponsoring the podcast, which the subscription and the subscribers, the listeners, the watchers is going up, our YouTube channel is going up. I mean, right now more than ever, people are in front of their computers. They're in front of their televisions, and they want to be motivated. They want to be inspired. They want to be connected to the outside world because they are officing at home. They're working from home. And we have a platform to help you get in front of them. So please consider that. I want to thank you for watching today's broadcast. I want to thank you for listening to today's podcast. And I want to just say thank you for being in our audience. I appreciate you. If there's some way I can help you, if you're a business owner, if you're a salesperson or an entrepreneur, reach out to me. I do answer emails. I answer phone calls. And I want to connect with you. I want to help you, and I want to help you grow your network. And I hope you choose AGC to do it. So thank you again for watching and listening. I'm going to sign off by just wishing you good health, good wellness. And I want you to stay safe, and I want you to look at your business today and think about, how am I going to adjust? How am I going to adapt? And how I'm going to take action in today's business climate.
This podcast was produced by Elation Studios. Go to www.elationstudios.co to learn more. Elation Studios. Discover your voice, clarify your vision, build your life.